And then I started to depend on people to go to the gym. And if they couldn't come with me, I started to see either I wouldn't go or you're just not going to accomplish your goal. And that ended up happening to me. So in that sense, yes, but nobody seems to be envious of my sobriety, really, genuinely, that I know of in front of my face.
This is Rock Bottom with Ryan. No sugarcoating, no filters. The pain, the chaos, the truth. No bullshit. Just recovery.
Were they shitty friends? We don't know.
Yes. Welcome to Rock Bottom with Ryan. I'm here with co-host Rachel. And we are doing our first podcast together in the same place about friends that let us down in recovery, friends that don't support our recovery, friends that are toxic to our recovery.
Left us. Are still not around.
So what are some first people that come to your mind when you think of people that maybe are trying to hold you back, or people that have kind of you feel abandoned by in your recovery?
I wouldn't say anybody's holding me back. The only person holding me back would be me, honestly. But from my past that are not around, I'm not going to name names, but I come from a large group of friends since I was a teenager. They were around even the night my mom passed away from me. People I thought would always be by my side. Through addiction, before addiction, and yes, my addiction did play a big role in it. But they did it with me. They enabled it, and then just completely booted me, and they criticized me quite often, actually.
Yeah, I've never been criticized by a lot of people. I would say a majority of my friends are happy that I got sober, but then a lot of them say they're jealous that I got sober, but they continue to drink or use. And I have a couple, but they're all supportive. But I have a couple people that are honestly like, I've got a text recently from somebody that said, I miss who you were when you were drinking because we were better friends when we were drinking. And I think that's kind of BS, because yeah, it's true. When I would have a bad time, like something going on in my life, he was one of the first people I called. I'd go to his house. We would get a bunch of cocaine, get a bunch of liquor, take shots all night, do Adderall, and have great conversations. But now that I don't do that anymore, now that I actually have resources to use and sober and not going to a bottle, it pisses him off. So
yeah, you guys were not really actually connecting. If you're sitting around and you're using a substance, you're not really connecting at all. At all. Like, you even remember what you talked about in full length? Like, and did it make any sense or come to life? Like, did you make a plan and follow through? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good question. I remember we'd be doing lines and joking around, and usually I'd be having problems with my ex-wife at the time, and I remember I would just come over and vent about it, and we would just kind of like go into different conversations about our toxic relationships and kind of laugh about them. But now looking back at those conversations, like, there was nothing funny to what we were talking about, but we were trying to justify using in order to like cope with those issues. We're like, oh yeah, she pisses me off, all right, I'm gonna go drink, I'm gonna get fucked up with my friend. And that's what we'd do. We would get fucked up, we'd stay up all night, and then I would go back to my home, to my relationship, just completely hungover and accomplish absolutely nothing. And
no support.
It's not real support.
I could recall a time, and again, I'm not going to name names, but somebody told me that, Rachel, I know your mom passed away when you were 16 years old of an overdose. And I understand, like, that's a hard thing, but it's been so many years. Like, get over it. You don't need to drink about it. She wouldn't be happy. And I was like, You think I don't know that? Like, I'm trying. I'm trying. I know that. And yeah, that is trauma. That's trauma. People don't understand that. If you're not an addict, then you just don't understand, and be grateful that you're not, that you don't understand. But to have people sit at your table every time somebody else gets up and goes to the bathroom or walks away, they got something to say, and don't think they're not doing it to you.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I usually stop trusting people when they come to me and talk about someone's personal life or what they personally don't like about somebody or something that's pissing them off or it's something that I don't need to know. I'm just kind of like, all right, so whatever I do, that you're gonna tell somebody about it. So I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut from now on, and I start to shut down in the friendship.
Yeah. And in recovery, you see more genuine people. And that's why it's so important to connect with people in recovery, because you understand each other and you make real connection. The opposite of addiction is connection.
Exactly.
So it's horrible. It feels like years wasted. Yes, I had a great time a few times, but I had some dangerous freaking times. Like, I could have died multiple times, and it's not their fault, it's my fault. But like, they were there too.
Those times where you almost died, like, did you feel like you had any support afterwards, or were they kind of laughing it off, like it was no big deal, and then, okay, well, when you're better, come back to us, that kind of thing? Or were they like, hey, Rachel, maybe it's time to slow down or something?
I was told to slow down, of course, multiple times, but then they would give in and drink with me. But then I overheard they wanted to do an intervention. Somebody I was very close to, everybody said no to doing the intervention. It caused a behind the scenes fight that I found out about years ago. But all of them still to this day disown. So what was the point of even trying to do that intervention in the first place? It's like, I'm a year and a half almost into recovery. Where are you now?
Yeah, that's really weird that they would want to stop you and intervene, but then when you're recovered and growing and becoming your true self, all of a sudden they start to back off, which just shows that, they were conditional friends. They didn't unconditionally love you, like, but they're seeing you improve and they back off, which doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. And then they blow you off. They tell you, oh, let's get coffee, let's get lunch, let's get dinner. And then they don't come around to the plant. They either no show you or whatever. So I don't know if just they didn't like me for real in the first place, or they just liked me while I was using and I needed them or something.
Are a majority of these friends, do they still actively use just as much, or did any of them try to get sober?
I hear one of them is actually sober now, and she's still in the bartending industry. And I've reached out to her and tried to make amends, but she's not ready. And when her time comes, hopefully it works out, because I love her to death. So I hear she's sober. I'm not sure how long, but regardless, she's doing the damn thing. No, none of them really had the issue like me. It was me.
Do you ever have friends that kind of resort to reaching out to you when they're going through like a really dark period now, like where you feel like they can rely on you for assistance since you're so experienced in recovery?
Oh yeah, other than like the people I met in recovery, I have about two best friends that are still around. They're actually part of my wedding. And they come to me not just about sobriety stuff, but like just light questions. And I'm always there for them. They've been there through my addiction. One of them was there the night I got the DUI.
Okay.
And she is my ride or die. So
Still to this day?
still to this day. But what about you? Do you still have people where you live now from your past that are still there?
Yeah, I've got a couple friends that I talk to on a daily basis. I mean, obviously, most of my friends now are in recovery or people I met through the program. Big part of the AA program, and a lot of those friends are, older than me and all that, but we all just connect on the same level, and they're really supportive. But when it comes to my like old friends, like the original drinking buddies, I've gotten mixed responses from everybody. Like, I have that one friend who I've been friends with since high school who said he wishes I would relapse and die, or hopes that, this podcast fails, like all these things because he was drinking and has those negative thoughts. But I don't know if he really feels that way or if he's just trying for help. But
Did you reach out?
I haven't reached out yet. I was given some space, and I found out that he'd sent similar messages to other people, kind of in that friend group and stuff. So I wasn't the only one that night. So which tells me that it wasn't directed at me. Maybe it was just he was in a bad place. So I've been trying to process it before I reach out or whatever. And I'll admit I don't usually do this to people, but I did block him to get the negativity out of my life for a few days. So I think I will unblock him when I feel perfectly comfortable, and I will say, I'm not going to say, hey, screw you, that message really hurt. I'm just going to say, how you feeling, because I don't really need an explanation for it, because I think I know what mind state he was in, because I've been there before.
And it sounded very envious.
Yeah.
Very envious.
Yeah, I think so too. I've reread the message multiple times. Like when I woke up and saw it, I didn't think it was going to affect me much. But then when I reread it a few times, I had brought it up to a few people and talked about it on social media, which is, kind of not something I thought I would ever do. But, I'm not putting his name out there, but I just kind of was curious if anybody had experienced that. So I think there was jealousy. I think that's been an ongoing thing since I've been friends with him. He thinks things have come easy for me when I don't think he's looked at my entire life or knows of my entire life of what I have had to overcome to get where I am. And my life hasn't been perfect. I've only been sober almost a year. Like I was where he was. I am, yeah, but like a little less than a year ago, I'm 352 days sober. And I was in a hospital before all that. I was shaking. I couldn't function. So, I mean, I know what it's like to be in a low place, and I don't think he understands that. But of course, when you get in recovery, every day that goes by, things start to get easier and life starts to get better. And of course, I've been more open about it than I was the last times I tried to get sober. And being open about my recovery, not only with this podcast, but with, social media and stuff, and making friends and a community, like, I think he's envious of some of those things.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think the people from my past are jealous of it. I don't think this comes from a jealous place. Like I said, I was a really obnoxious, sloppy, nasty, angry drunk. So I've done and said so many unhinged things to each and every one of them. Straight up.
Yeah.
But where are you at? like I don't know. I tried to make amends, and it's not just that. Like, don't make plans with me and just like bomb me out. Like, I don't know. Just be real. And one of them is real. She's not responding. So there you go. She's being real.
Yeah.
The other ones don't.
Yeah. I mean, being real is like the only way to really retain a friendship. And some people have been pretty honest with me. And like when I wasn't even coming to make an amends, but I had another friend who I've been kind of talking to more often now. He was one of my really big buddies as far as partying goes, but actually a good friend outside of partying. And he sent me a message kind of saying, hey man, I heard about this podcast. I'm really happy for you. But, it kind of sucked that, I went through a lot of stuff, a couple of years ago, and you weren't there for me or whatever. You're kind of, I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, I apologize because I was in a bad place. I couldn't support myself, so there's no way I could be there for anybody else. So some of the amends you make, it varies between each person, but like some people will take it well. Some people won't even bring up things you don't remember doing for years later. Like I didn't even know what happened to him. That's how disconnected I was. I didn't even know he was going through a divorce. So
yeah, no, I get that totally, and I'm pretty sure that is the same case scenario with some of these people. And I'm sorry about that. They just don't understand addiction, I guess. And maybe some will come around, but what hurts the most is I got engaged in, okay, and not really any of them fully from the heart reached out and congratulated me.
Yeah.
And these are people that I thought would be standing next to me at my wedding.
Yeah.
So, which is coming up in April. My eyes are getting.
No, that's awesome.
But
Congratulations.
it's coming up I'm getting teary-eyed because these are people that I really thought would be around.
Yeah.
So I have new people around, but a few of them standing next to me. Oh,
Some of these people you thought would be basically bridesmaids and
yeah,
be involved and be like, hey, when are we doing this? Let's plan it
Yeah.
out. But they're just not there.
yeah, they're not. But some old from my past, my childhood best friend, my first friend since I moved to Florida, from Boston. Shout out to Tally. But no, my childhood best friend, she's a part of it, of course, and then a few of my old best friends who I did party with, but are really close friends of mine now in recovery. But a few that I made in recovery too. But these people that I miss very much, I just feel like our lives went different ways with or without addiction. Like addiction did play a part.
Yeah. But like, even without addiction, we are all growing up, and like where our interests start to change when like the things I was into when I was in my mid 20s. I mean, even when I was still drinking in my 30s, I was, certain friends would fade off,
Yeah.
and that just happens. I mean, just because you meet other people that you click with more. Sometimes, the harder your drinking gets, the more, you start to develop friendships with acquaintances who aren't even real friends, and you start to forget who your real friends are. That happened to me a lot. Where,
Literally, though.
yeah,
Yeah.
I would make friends with people that weren't that I thought were friends, but it was more like, hey, are we getting a gram tonight? That was our friendship.
And then staying up until 6 in the morning and seeing the sun come up and being paranoid
Yeah.
together.
Yep.
That's true friendship.
That's true friendship.
Like, no.
And then I would ignore texts from people that I probably should have been responding to, people that were actually making good choices, people that would have been a good influence. And
Yeah.
I regret that now, but it's also like I can't do anything about it now. All I can do is value the friendships I have now
Yeah.
that I'm sober. So.
Exactly. But I think we should we have to continue to move forward, and that's all we could do. If people come back around, it's on to me. Same thing with romantic relationships, like same thing with friendship.
Are you willing to share like a specific example of how like being kind of let down in your sobriety besides the wedding and all that? Is there any other like examples of like where you feel like somebody was either envious of you or pissed off that you were sober or made you feel bad about being sober?
I met up with an old friend that's part of this clique and crew, and I wasn't a full year sober. I was about almost 10 months, and we met up, and our children met as a younger child, and we had coffee. It was a great time. And then she invited me over her house for her birthday a week later, and we hung out on her patio and had a great time. And I thought we were having deep conversation. This is sober me now, though. And it was the last time we saw each other, and then she just kind of like dipped. And I don't know why. There's no closure. I do know her very well. I don't know the new her. It's been years, but maybe she just didn't like, maybe she thinks I was full of myself. I don't know. And I wasn't trying to be. I'm just being me.
Do you think sometimes, this is like a thought that just came to my head, but do you think sometimes when your friends see you get sober and they're not sober, they start to get self-conscious, like now you're judging them or something, or now you don't think they're good enough to kind of be in your presence sort of thing? Maybe they start to get those insecurities because they're like, all right, Rachel's sober, she probably doesn't want to be around my bullshit anymore or something, so I better ghost her.
Well, this person in particular is sober, so it wasn't even that type of situation. So that's why I felt even more let down. It hurt more.
Because you're both on the same page.
Yeah, I looked up to her like a big sister always, and I mean, I guess not anymore, but it just makes me really sad. That really let me down. But yeah, I do think I'm sure there are people that look at me and they're not cheering me on. I'm sure. I mean, that sucks. I mean, I'm a freaking awesome person, so.
Yeah, no, so like, do you think like some of those friends that you say just have let you down, do you think, say hypothetically you started drinking again, are you confident that those relationships would go back to normal?
Oh no, they're like those relationships, I'm pretty sure, are like gone.
Did you ever have to like end the relationship by talking to them, or you just kind of like just cut them off, stop talking to them, or did you
No,
do
they
it
cut me
formally?
off.
They cut you off.
They cut me off, but then like time grew, and then some of them came back around. Just all faded away.
Oh,
No, but I still have people. Like I said, a few of them are part of my wedding that are still around and ride or die. But no. And do you live in your hometown where you grew up?
no, well, it's kind of confusing. So I grew up in north of Seattle area, and then my mom and I and my sister moved to Idaho for a few years back when I was like age 7 to 10ish, and then moved back to Seattle, and then I lived in Seattle area until college, and then I went to college over at Washington State, and then when I was at Washington State, it's pretty close to where I used to live in Idaho, so I caught myself going back and forth to see family a lot, and I always kind of liked that area. It's a small town vibe, but still like 30,000 people. So I kind of liked it. So after I'd moved back to Seattle after graduation, some years passed, and I think 6 years ago I moved back to that area just to kind of get a change after I had gotten divorced and all that. So.
And you had friends that kind of followed you around through addiction, or?
Yeah, I mean, when I moved back to Idaho, I had trouble making friends there. Mainly, I don't know why, I just didn't like fit in because I was more of a city slicker type, and I moved into a really kind of hardcore country attitude, and I didn't really relate a lot to the people. You know, everybody knows how to fix their own cars, and I was like, shit, I don't know how to do this. I do now, but like I've learned a lot. But at first, I was like, I don't have anything in common with these people. Like they want to go hunting and fishing, and I've never even like, you know, I'm not big on guns or any of that stuff. So for a while there, I was keeping in touch with my friends back home, and I was going back to visit a lot and partying there for a weekend. And then I'd come back and be like kind of depressed for the week, and it was really hard to make friends. So I caught myself just kind of working and having really controlled drinking. I wasn't like getting effed up, and then eventually I started going to the bars around Lewiston, and you know, at bars you can make instant friends, you know. And once I started doing that, it was kind of like, okay, well, at least I have a bar crew, and then my drinking got out of control again just by having those kinds of friends. So.
Yeah. I mean, I made friends at the bar too.
Yeah, I mean, some of them turn into friends for life. I mean, but I would say a majority of them just they're just there to drink and watch a game with you and BS about stuff. But
I always blacked out. So I always blacked out. The Ratchet Rachel, all jokes aside, really came out pretty much every single time. She was out of control, caused chaos. She thought she was Snooki. So
we talk about her in the third person, so it must be scary.
hey, if you know, you know, if you're listening to this, but I am not proud of her. But she existed. So, I mean, but yeah, it was she caused so much chaos, like so much chaos for herself though. And then yeah, but like family, friends, nobody wanted to deal with that shit.
What's the difference of Ratchet Rachel and a friendship and then who Rachel is now? Like how are you as a friend in comparison?
Well, I wouldn't Ratchet Rachel was when I would black out. Drunk Rachel was just me having mental illness while drinking. Sober me. So it's like 3 different people. Like Ratchet Rachel is just blackout Rachel. She was just chaotic. I would walk up into places, curse people out, throw drinks in people's faces, throw chairs, tables, get carried out of places, taking out for fucking no reason. There would really be no like a really good reason. Get cut off by bartenders. That's fucking embarrassing. Ever happened to you?
Oh, I've been cut off so many times. Like, oh my god, I got 86 from bars for. God, I hate to admit this, but
so
for hooking up with the employees too much, and I got told I can't come back to the bar if I'm causing too much drama for
the employees,
for the bartenders. Yeah,
I'm dead.
Yeah, no.
Well, you know what?
That was a problem like 10 years ago.
Well, That's a decade ago.
Yeah.
No, I just caused chaos because I was just drinking so much, and then like I wouldn't understand my tab like ever, like because my best friend worked at the bar that I used to go to.
Yeah.
But I wasn't paying attention to the tab, which was not her responsibility at all. And my fiance, who would just eventually just be like, you know what, peace out. Like, you are turning into Ratchet Rachel, and I'm not dealing with it. You want to go home, get home.
Like, does Ratchet Rachel come out every now and again sober?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like, yeah. I mean, in a more vocal way, not violent. I go to the gym, so I take that out there, but I could sometimes be nasty. And I'm working on that.
Does that like side of Ratchet Rachel? I find this really interesting talking about this other person. But like, do old friends kind of bring that stuff up, even though like she's pretty much gone, but like they bring it up to like use it against you?
Not use it against me. It's actually like sometimes a joke.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like Ratchet Rachel's coming out.
Oh yeah, my close friend. Oh yeah, like don't awake Ratchet Rachel. Like my brother-in-law, like says it.
Yeah. So it's a common theme.
It's like not funny, but it's funny.
Yeah.
Like it happened. Like I used to fall over. One time I remember I was at my brother-in-law, if he's listening to this, he'll remember this. My fiance for sure remembers this. I was at some hole-in-the-wall bar in like the middle of nowhere, and I slipped and fell, but I tried to make it like a dead drop. I don't know if you know what a dead drop is. No. Okay. Drag queens do it, and like flamboyant gay men do it. It's a dead drop where they just like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's a freaking dead drop. People who are listening know what a dead drop is, probably. The transgenders do it. Not the transgenders, the drag queens. I tried to like land it like that because I knew there was like a lot of people watching me, but I was fucked up and I was really overweight and I hurt myself. I think I slipped a disc. Like I'm pretty and that was Ratchet Rachel. But she was just embarrassing. Like she was just sweaty and like
sweaty and gross. No, like people used to say, like, are you gonna get Ryan drunk tonight, or are you just gonna take it easy? I'm like, what does Ryan drunk mean? They're like, well, we all know you just black out, you just like hover onto people, put your arms around them, you're just fucking annoying, and nothing you say makes sense. I'm like, I guess I'm getting like that because I just popped 2 Xanax and took 8 shots, so here we go.
That used to be my type of night. I'm like, yeah, that sounds like a great night. Like you don't even remember it. It's like the hangover the next morning.
Yeah, and then I'm always like, first thing I would do if I had roommates, I'd walk out and be like, did I do anything stupid? What did I have to apologize for?
Am I okay?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
A lot of times, it's like I would wake up injured or like whatever, and I'd be like, did I fight someone? Like, did I get arrested? I'm looking around my room for like like a citation or something.
No, I would go through my phone, and with these, friends that I had, I would see sometimes I would wake up from a massive fight that I had with them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, I messed up so bad with this person. And this is why she cut me off. And I can't do anything about it. And I don't remember this. And yeah, but it happened.
Yep.
Okay. So in recovery, though, can you say you've made any really good connections and close friends now and through recovery?
Yeah, that seemed to be the only way I was making friends. Like I thought when I was, when I went to rehab, I developed a bunch of connections. A few of them I still keep in touch with. But, when you meet people who are going through the exact same thing at the same time, it makes it really easy to have somebody to like confide in and talk about and laugh about things with, because you're both in the same position.
Yeah. Yeah. And that I'm going through that too. Through coworkers, I've made close friends, through even just social media, being an influencer and being on this podcast. Like you meet people through recovery and it's a community that understands you.
Yeah, I'm noticing that like I never did social media. Like I was just making these really good friends in AA who I talked to all the time. But once I started doing this podcast, started talking about my own personal life a little more on the podcast and started interviewing people, I started realizing there's so many people out there with so many good stories. And when you can share stories with each other and you open up about really difficult things, it makes you almost develop a connection without intending on it.
Yeah, that's what happens. That's what happens. I started that with the sobriety community that I was a part of in early sobriety. And I was a leader. I helped out with that. And I had a lot of girls that I helped through sobriety. And that just made me want to continue to help people. And then here I am,
Yep.
like spreading my testimony and admitting I was abusive.
Oh, I mean, I think people start to respect that. Like the more that's the case for me though. Like when I hear people really admit that they made a ton of mistakes when they were drinking, and that just makes me realize I can trust that person because they trust me enough to admit and own up to their crap, own up to,
Exactly.
and that makes me trust people more. And those are the kind of people I want to be friends with, friends that want to be real and not go into recovery like, yeah, I was a fuck up. I'm just trying to stop drinking. But no, people that really want to like improve as a person.
Yeah, taking accountability. You got to take accountability, and that's exactly with past friendships and the new friendships that we have now in recovery. Like, if you fuck up, you fuck up. Just own it.
Exactly. So, yeah, so most of the friends now, I'm trying to just maintain the friendships with people in AA, I'm starting to kind of develop this community on social media. Those are the people I want to talk to. And then a lot of my old friends now, I think the ones that are being negative, the ones we talked about earlier, those are the ones I'm like kind of giving space to, especially when I don't know how sensitive I am in my sobriety. It's almost been a year, but I don't know like if that trigger comes up, how am I going to respond to it? And some things I'll admit, I kind of avoid. So I pushed a few people away that I thought were negative influences or I thought were bad for my recovery. But that doesn't mean I'm never going to talk to them again. It just means I'm going to give you space until I feel strong enough to have people like that in my life.
That's smart of you. That's a boundary. So
Yeah,
I respect that.
Yeah, setting boundaries is everything.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
What's your experience setting boundaries? Like, if you had any like bad reactions to it? I know you had friends that kind of became distant unexpectedly, but were there ones where you set boundaries and they had a bad reaction to it? They're like, what the hell? Why are you not talking to me?
Yeah, more so like when it comes to kind of like the gym too. When it came to my sobriety, I decided to also shed 75 pounds. Like day of sobriety, I got on the scale, and I was like, oh hell no, because I'm like 5'3". So yeah, that's not healthy. So I took that journey on, and then I started to depend on people to go to the gym. And if they couldn't come with me, I started to see either I wouldn't go or you're just not going to accomplish your goal. And that ended up happening to me. So in that sense, yes, but nobody seems to be envious of my sobriety, really, genuinely, that I know of in front of my face, I'm pretty sure everybody's proud of me. I just don't think people know how to approach me now because they don't know this side of me. I was an addict for 17 years.
Yeah. And they've never seen you like this. And it's been, over how many years now, too?
On October 11th will be a year and a half.
Year and a half, yeah. So going on 2 years. So that's a lot of change. I'm realizing a lot of change. Like I'm noticing in the last 3 months, I don't know if you had the same thing, but after like 9, 10 months, did you feel yourself changing, your personality changing? Like you finally could see clearly, you finally like
Yeah.
got this confidence where you're like, actually, you know what? I don't like this kind of shit. So
Yeah.
I'm getting rid of it. And that
Yeah.
kind of hurts people too, You're like, I don't need that person in my life. So
Yeah, I like my peace. I like to enjoy what I'm into. I like 90 Day Fiance. That's my guilty pleasure, and I'm not afraid to say that.
I
Yeah.
love bad reality shows, honestly.
I
And I love
really
watching
do.
their toxic friendships on TV.
It makes me feel good about my life.
Yeah, me
So-
too. What do you call it? Real Mormon housewives or Mormon wives? Or
I've
whatever.
heard about that.
Oh.
A few of my sober sisters told me to watch that show. Shout out to you. I'm going to. What is that on? HBO.
HBO. Or Hulu.
If you're a fan, you would know.
I think it's Hulu. Yeah, Hulu.
Hulu, I'm about to have Hulu. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, it's a funny show because that's the thing about like friendships is like I've had so many like toxic friendships and drama and stuff, and some of them were drama free. But when I get to watch it on reality shows and see it firsthand, I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I wasn't such a conniving person.
Yeah. Oh, 90 Day Fiance. I'm like, oh wow, me and John are fucking amazing. Like we're fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Like this, I don't have to go through.
I know.
No, but I mean, I really do look up to some of those couples though who've made it. I mean, yeah, more power to you, especially if you're in sobriety. I mean, I'm sure some of you are
Yep.
on the cast.
Do you think that any of your friends listening, if they listen to this, are there any friends that you would say, you don't have to say their name, but like why they are your ride or die and why some aren't, and why like some friends you trust more than others? Like what qualities did you see in them? Not specifically mentioning them.
I don't have to say their name. They know who they are. No matter what, she was my party friend. We became mothers at the same time. We've helped each other kind of raise each other's children. She's been very supportive, mainly with my child, and helped me through addiction, through a relapse. She took care of my child. She's always been there for me. I've always been there for her since we were very young. And now, you know, she's a bridesmaid and she listens to every single episode of Rock Bottom with Ryan. And she is a very big supporter. She gives me stuff for my desk.
Awesome.
She's my best friend. She really is. We just have an understanding of each other.
Good.
So,
Yeah, that's I don't have like a specific friend that I got, but I do have a good community of really good friends who I think I could reach out to any time of day, just because they've, like I said earlier, a big thing is that they confide in me and tell me about their lives and why they are the way they are, how they got to where they are, then I know they can trust them. So I think trust is the biggest thing for me.
yeah.
Just because, you know, I just don't want to risk being screwed over while I'm sober because I'm not sure how I'll take it. So sometimes it's just a
Safety net.
coping mechanism, safety net. Yeah, exactly.
Safety. Protecting yourself.
Protecting myself a lot. And I was telling somebody the other day that I've avoided so many situations the last year that I think have kept me sober. But at some point I have to fully live life. You know, I have to face things and I have to be around every kind of person and not avoid them, you know,
Yeah.
because you can't always avoid it forever. So
No. We have a lot more in life to live, especially if we are going to continue down this path, which I plan.
Yeah.
Sobriety is the only way to be. I'm not going backwards. It's not an option. But yeah, it's the only way to be. I don't ever want to go back to that. I don't want the fake friendships, the fake connections, the fake relationships, nothing. I just want everything to be genuine.
same here. Just real people, you know, real conversations, real trust, and, you know, people I can depend on, and people that, sober or not, are going to be there for me. That's what I want.
Yeah, no matter what.
Is there any advice we would like to give before we close up the episode, or anything else you'd like to talk about?
I just want to say to anybody in early sobriety or in sobriety that feels lonely right now, that not only is there a community for everybody out on social media and so many different resources, but you're not alone. It's a journey for yourself. It's personal. And you will find your people. I promise you. You will find your people and people you connect with.
Exactly.
And you're not alone. And I just want to say that because I went through a spurt where I cried every day wishing for a friend, a genuine one. And they come to you.
They do come to you.
When you love yourself, though, you have to take care of yourself and love yourself first.
Well said, honestly. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to be a good, loyal, trusting friend if you can't give yourself all the same things, you know? You got to be, self-preservation comes first. And yeah, my only advice would be, you know, my advice might be a little more timid than yours, but don't be scared to reach out, and also pay attention to how people treat you. You'll pay attention to who's there for you when you're having your bad moments and who's judging and who's not judging, because you'll start to see how easy it is to kind of filter out what people to stay away from or distance yourself and set boundaries, and what people are going to be the ones you can rely on in the end.
Exactly. Breathe.
Yep. All right. Well, good talk. We'll be back for another episode.
Rock Bottom with Ryan. No bullshit, just recovery.